Corruption is a cancer. Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Again, I'm still here on the project, building capacity around my mouth, but I got something to back it up. What do you think? Let's discuss it.
Corruption is a cancer, is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
L'Amérique n'a pas bloqué nous. Quand il y a Sylvie, il y a quoi qui j'ai vu prince. L'Amérique n'a pas bloqué. T'as bien de moi avec nous. En ce moment, on va battre au moins néo. Mon temps dit est à nous. On s'en bat bien pour moi dit quoi. Toi, là le caillou. Quand on soit du roi, allez, envoyez. Battu au roi. Yao, abela lokeyo, bibito jobai, bibito nomba, matisi mokeyo. Manager Gigi, ouais t'es jamais forcé ou si tu connais. L'animateur Choco Noska Yassin de Toyebi, l'homme a tout fait pour Mivito, Aniche les deux.
Corruption is a cancer. Is a disease that deprives countries and people in countries of their rights, and also it drains countries of their economy. It misplaces the economy, and it creates problem for people in the country, deprive them of their rights. And I think if Africans fight corruption and they see that their economies are managed properly, there'll be a lot of peace because it will bless a lot more people.
Good evening, folks. Samson to Labro Pablito. I want to thank all of you again tonight. I hope that I'm audible. Apparently, okay, I am. Thank you. Please share this video as much as you can. Share it to as many people as you can. Please share this video tonight. As you can see, we are not operating. We are not operating. Thank you, Mr. Bargon. Thank you for joining. We're not operating tonight from our own base. We're on assignment here in the city of Eureka, where I have my project here, and we're doing a field visit. But then that would not stop us. Once we're off work, we can do these kinds of stuff. And I want to thank you very much for joining us. Please share this video to as many people as you can tonight. Appreciate it. Safety, Lord Jesus. We want to thank you again this evening for bringing us here, my Lord. We thank you for everything that you have done and continue to do for us. Because of you, we are here. Without you, we're nowhere. We know it, and we ask you to continue to bless us all. My Lord, your blessing continue to pour on us, and we appreciate it. We say thank you. My Lord, your blessing continue to pour on every child on this earth. And we say thank you. Those that are not with us tonight, my Lord, we ask that their soul be blessed as well. My Lord, we ask that you bless the Republic of Liberia. You bless the people of the Republic of Liberia. We ask that you bless the President of the Republic of Liberia. Guide his hand, whatever he touches, my Lord, that is be good for the people of the Republic of Liberia. We ask, my Lord, that you bless the host country, the United States of America. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us again tonight. We say we appreciate it. We're here. We will be talking a lot of stuff here tonight. The analysts will send a link, but if you don't come, we can handle it ourselves, all by ourselves. We can handle it. I can talk. In fact, I love to talk. I love to talk. So please, but on a very serious note, analysts, if you get this opportunity, please join us. Join us as soon as you can, please. Again, Samson to Labra Public Radio. I want to thank Mr. Soul. Has a beautiful show last night. Yeah, I missed that. I missed that. I don't know where I was, but I missed it. Anyhow, I heard some of the conversation with Mr. Soul and Honorable Victor Smith, who happens to be a brother of mine. And I thought I'd replay it tonight. I really, really enjoyed. But we'll go on the same route tomorrow. Though tomorrow is going to be a little bit different. Why I will be out in the field. I'm also going to show you, because I told you I'm going to show you the fixes of that road issue they have over there. They're having another meeting. There was a meeting, I believe, today at Public Work, where the Chinese have sent contractor who's supposed to do the overpass, and the people are jumping on it. From the presentation that I saw just on Facebook, on Public Web website. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Let me bring in Jerry here this evening. I'm not too sure. Good evening, Jerry. Thank you for joining me again. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I'm
all the
not.
radio listeners.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, I'm
Thank,
back. Last week I was too busy, but thank God the chief has gone back and received it, so I'm back. I've
thank
been
you.
busy for the
Thank you.
whole 1 week.
We, we, we also want to thank you for your participation in our father being here. Whatever you guys did was very careful, and you guys did a wonderful job as far as I'm concerned. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And the old man, our father, is
Thank you.
back home, safety. We appreciate that as well. So, anyhow, tonight you and I going to be on here talking our usual topic, Liberia. That is, what is on your plate this evening, sir?
Well, I mean, all I can tell you is, all is well. Senator Jack Reed was gone by the Liberian government, especially on Robokai, the president of Republic of Liberia. And he also extended the invitation for the Rwanda caucus to go to Liberia, but it's still working on the mentality and see how far it will go. Maybe it'll be next year. When Jack Reed also agreed to go to Liberia with the two representatives, Jack Reed, Standing Warehouse, Gabe, and the Rwanda caucus. There are 4 members. Then we got local state representative, 2 state representative, 1 Liberian, or not Nathan Bia and Grace Man, and there are 2 local representatives that also want to accomplish. And the delegation will go.
That's
So
good. Thank you.
it was marvelous, and we had a good time, and we were able to sit with the president. It was a privilege and honor to say, to have some discussion, where he wanted to carry the country. We're very excited. I mean, probably you listened to his speech when he returned. That if he can ride a wheelbarrow to go to work, that's what he wants. But he's eager to work for the Liberian people. We say we are not here to enriching ourselves. So I mean, he had, I mean, still worry about deeds but not worry, but let's see the action. He has some agenda that he wants to accomplish in his administration. So let's see what it is.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's eager to work. He's eager to work. He wants Liberia, like he said to us, look, I'm in this not to enrich myself. I don't need a house. I don't need a car. If you come in to get in a wheelbarrow to go to work, all I want is to do the Liberian people work. There are a lot of things that we can go. Just an introduction. Any other question, we can discuss it.
Thank you.
But
Thank you. Well, I will
it is
try to.
important that the only thing I understand is
Yes. Okay. So,
why.
yeah, Jerry. What I think you and I. It's not like I'm trying to quiz you or something like that, but I just want an update on if at all you can get into any topic or question or
Oh no,
item.
that's good. It's important. I know it's good. It's
If it
good.
is
It's good. It's
because
good.
sometimes when you meet with the father, when you meet with the president, those type of conversation I tend to be private. And then if there's any question that is asked and those questions are considered to be private, just stay so and we will move on. While you were here, I believe you guys had the opportunity to engage the president. At the same time, while he was in Rhode Island, there was a series of corrupt allegations raging all over Monrovia in senior ministers involved. Was there any conversation about that at all?
Yes. Yes. The only thing I can tell you, and I can report to the world, he said, "Stay tuned." That's all he said. He said, "I'm going home. You must stay tuned." That's all he said. Other than that,
Okay.
I mean, we brought it out. We had a discussion. The only thing he said, and I'm quoting right, and the other privileges that I will not go the bill, but the only thing he said, "I'm going home. I'm aware of what's going on in Liberia." And let me say this, brother, Mr. To, the president is well informed. The ES is on the ground. There's something he was telling us that he aware of that, that you think that president will not know. He know it. It was missing, thing that you think that he's not aware.
He can watch me.
Well, maybe he do, but there are things that he knows what's going on in Liberia. Let be honest. Let me be honest with you. He know, and the only thing I know, I don't know how he does it, but you and him talk, and so I'm serious. I'm not something I'm doing, but when you and him talk, he will remember your name. You walk in his room, he will remember your name. He will not say, "Oh, hello." He will say, "Oh, Samson, how you doing?" How we yet? I can remember people by their faces, but to say by the name, I can't. I will start thinking. I say, "Oh, I knew I met him somewhere. I met her somewhere." But there are people that he know for a long time. Hmm? It was missing that. In essence, Mr. Bwaka, he will remember your name and identify you.
Thank you.
People
So
think he's old.
let's.
Let's say he's old, but hey, people, he's not sleeping. You and him talking. And let me say this to you, our radio listener. If you go and meet Buckeye, Your Excellency, you go and meet the president, please make sure you get a story straight before you can go to him. Or you will be issuing. That's all I can say. If you're going to
Wow.
talk to him, if you're going to talk to him on a raw issue, make sure you got your raw issue, your statistics, your data, everything lined up in your mind, or if you can carry your part to remember what you're going to say. But if you're talking to him, he will tell you right away about Mr. Tu, why he said this, why is this the way. So if you go and meet with him, I'm just telling for near future, those who had the opportunity, those I'll be meeting with him in the future, or those who have met with him.
I'm one of those. I think I'm supposed to meet with him tomorrow. I'm flying to Maria tomorrow to meet with him.
Well, make sure, make sure you get your story together. That's all I can tell you. Mhm.
Let me on a very serious note, Jerry. When you guys brought this issue about Liberia up, and he was responding to him, can you give us a little bit of his demeanor? What was his body language look like? Was he upset, or was he just casual in
No, he was
talking
not
to you
casual.
guys?
He was diplomatic. Where you
Okay.
could see the bitterness in him, and that was something we're talking
Does
that
he look
morning.
like
We're having a
somebody?
breakfast with him.
Does he look like
Yesterday.
somebody? Does those that were involved, knowing the people that are involved, many of them they're very close to him. Does he look disappointed, or does he sound disappointed?
Well, I don't want to, to prejudge him or to preempt
Okay,
him,
all right.
but he was very concerned.
Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah,
So
he was very
so
concerned because we had what like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe what 5 or 6 that morning. You know, before he departed Saturday morning, we were having a breakfast with him. And I mean, there are some topics that came out, and the only thing he said was, "Look, we get into the government. It is not to enriching ourselves. It is to make sure that we serve the people that elected us, the people that were appointed, and make sure that things are done." And the only thing he said, "Just stay tuned." You know, I mean, I think somebody tried
okay,
to
but
push in the same way the question you asked. Somebody tried to push in. All he said, "Look, I just told you, stay tuned. I'm going to Liberia, and we're going to deal with it." That's why he just said, "Stay tuned." That's what he said.
but let me push you a little bit as usual here. And then again, I'm not trying to quiz you or
No, no,
anything
no,
like
no.
that.
That's
Just want to
good. I
get to
mean,
you.
we're having that's good. Mhm.
Knowing who this president is, you met him before. You know who he is before he even took the office of the presidency. You know who he is. Do you think that what the public outcry is out there, suspension, dismissal, ask people to resign, other kinds of, do you see it within him? Because he consider most of the young people his own kids, and that's been my own reservation here, because he doesn't look like someone who will hurt people or who would do things to someone just because he has the power. I don't think I see that in him, and that's been my reservation. Do you see him taking action that will be a concrete action to be like an example to the fellow ministers and other people that work in his government, that this is not family farm, this is the people business and something like that. You know him well. Do you think he has that within him to do if it comes down to it? And I'm not trying to say it suggest to me that's what he's gonna
Yeah.
do. I'm just asking you.
Mr. Tho, I can
Yes.
tell you, the president had a temperament to do what all the things you articulated. He had a temperament to do this thing. But he one of those that take his time. He don't make decision um instantly, and say, "I want to make decision." There are people who say, and one of the things he said to us, people say, "I don't make decision. I take my time to make decision. I don't want to make a good decision. I don't just want to make decision because of I want to make
Are you with
decision."
me,
So
Jerry?
yeah, I'm here. You can hear
Okay.
me.
All right. Okay. Yeah,
So
I got you. Okay.
so
Okay.
he's somebody who
All right.
think twice, think over before he make decision. He might be slow. I mean, to other people as standard, but no, he's not. He's somebody who. So let me say this. Mr. Baka, I've been knowing Mr. Baka now almost going to almost 20 years. When you were vice president for 12 years before, everything. So I've been knowing about Mr. Baka now for Your Excellency for a long period of time. And I know his temperament. He's a very nice man, but he's like a rattlesnake. Don't step on his tail. And, that's what he is. And there's something that he who will do, it will surprise most of us. Hmm?
Okay. All right.
So the
So
only thing he asked, go ahead.
Was the in your conversation with the president? I know many of you that had a conversation or have the opportunity to talk to the president. I know you guys have notes that you were not there to push your own agenda, but you were having conversation to pick his mind in terms of uh, carrying out the duty of his job required to help the Liberian people. Were you guys making any suggestions to say, Mr. President, in my field as a security analyst or LPR or as a security person, XYZ, or those are private as well?
Oh yeah, I mean, with everybody who were in a meeting, uh they make this speak on their profession. They spoke some of them on their profession and some of their intention, and some of them, make it known what is going on, and some of the government official, and there are things that we can come on the air and say, but I think that he really concerned about, about our judicial system. He concerned about our security system. He concerned about the army. There's a lot of things he concerned about. But there are
Which
things
are
that
which
he
are which are
really
all
want to do.
right.
Hmm?
Those
He
are
said, "Oh
those
no, I
I
mean,
said that
I just,
those
mhm.
are day-to-day running affair of the country. So
Yeah,
once he's
the
concerned,
government, yeah,
yeah,
how he want
that's
to improve, the education system, how he want to improve the water system in our country. One of the things he said to me, said to us was, look at Monrovia, but outside Monrovia, even in Monrovia, we don't even got clean water system. What about the other now 14 counties? They have been disfranchised. He said, no, he said Liberia is not layout. Don't put it this way. He said Liberia is not layout. The cities are not layout. So it make it possible for people to
yeah, but
do
Jerry,
effective work.
Jerry, I agree with you, and I think the president, but the
So
action,
he concerned, he knows his thing.
yeah,
He knows his thing.
I understand that, but for example, he's suggesting that Monrovia or Liberia is not layout, which is quite correct. But the people that he's asking to help him, these are not people who are qualified in those areas. So for him to knowing, I know deep inside. I don't know. He never met me before. He doesn't even know who I am, but I can see from his face that deep inside of him, he wants more for Liberia than what we all give him. But his appointment is yet to show those area of concern, bringing people, qualified people in those area of concern, then perhaps those issues can be addressed. But if you bring in manager to go into financing, going to lawyer, bring lawyer in to come and do youth and sport, and all those kinds of things, then I think for me, I don't know much. I could be wrong, but the mismatching, as I see it from my perspective, again, I could be wrong. The mismatching of this position perhaps speaks volume to say he knows what he wants. But for me, then if you know what you want, appoint people who have the requisite uh, 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 education, experience, who are qualified in those areas. But it doesn't seem to be the case. And I could be wrong. I could be
No,
wrong, Jerry.
yeah, I will look at it on the contrary. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Push
yeah,
back,
there are
push
some
back,
things
please, push back.
people.
I expect you to
No, no,
push back
no,
because
no, no.
because
Like,
we're having conversation
no,
here.
but here's the thing, Mr. To. The president, yeah, like I said, the president aware of some of the appointments, some of the people who he appointed, and he had high expectation about some of those that are already working, and some of who are not working in his government. He still had high expectation about us. That look, you guys are not working in the government, but you people are still the ambassador of the government. You are the people who still going to relay the message to the outside world, even though you're not working the government. But those are working the government will have high expectation for them to meet with the Liberian people. And the emphasis he always emphasized, and to us, is that this government is not there for you to enrich yourself. And he concerned about it. It's something that he aware of what's going on. And I hope, with the conversation that you have with him, maybe he get on ground, he will make some decision, that, for the interest of the Liberian people as well as the government in the Republic of Liberia.
Since you were one of those who were involved, I'm not too sure how much you were involved in the planning and execution of his visit, the Excellency's visit here there in Rhode Island. But someone who perhaps is going to be considered insider. There are those Liberians, members of the Liberian community in Rhode Island, and some members of Liberian community that travel from out of here to, other places and go there. And they are now coming back to complain that they did not have the opportunity to meet and greet or to meet and have conversation with the president. Was that not part of the agenda for the president to meet Liberians and have conversation?
I don't know. I can speak to it because I'm one of the planning committee, and you see, yes, it is work by protocol. Out here, when the protocol came, we have to say down what they have the expectation and what we have here for the expectation. We also have to emerge with the two parties, the protocol from Liberia, and we that in Rhode Island, we send our agenda. This is what we have planned for the president. Then they say, okay, we can accommodate you on these issues that the other.
But Jerry, when you use the word accommodate, when you people were looking for money in the player, they didn't use accommodation. They didn't use the word accommodate. They come over here and asking for people to raise money for this president. And everybody was able to meet the president and have conversation. Now that he has gotten the job, they want to use the word accommodate. And, Jerry,
but yes, it didn't. Let me put it this way. Let me be blunt. Those are listening to us right now. When he was a candidate, he was candidate. I will hear. When he was candidate, I could go to a place and we talk. But when he became president, let me say this: the Secret Service was in control on his stay here. Okay. The man has Secret Service detail. He has state police. Then he had local police. So it's not like before when he was candidate or, former vice president or former candidate. It was easy access. Okay. Are we here before I could go there? I have to, make some arrangement for me to go. I have access.
But okay, I get that point.
There's a security protocol that we have to go through before we can get.
I get it. When you guys were submitting to the Monroe group or to the Monroe protocol group, whatever they are, did you not also submit possibility for the president to have some sort of a town hall style meeting with Liberians? You know very well, Jerry, you here as Liberian first and here in the diaspora, when we get together, every one of us are anxious and eager to hear from the house's mouth itself. And I thought perhaps this was one because the president been there for 9 months now, and there's so many rumors flying all over the place. So I thought perhaps that would have been an opportunity for the president to surely engage his constituencies, and he consider us the 16 county. What are they? 15 county, 16 or 17, whatever county it is.
15 counties.
Yeah, he considered to be the 16th county. So why was it you guys in control of it? Why did we not have the opportunity to have a town hall style meeting with the president? Was it also being controlled by the secret services and all the other security apparatus?
Yes and no. Yeah, what I say yes and no. First of all, let me make it clear. It was not officially planned that the president was going to reach in Rhode Island. Usually, anytime he come, we anticipated that you were going to reach in Rhode Island, but it was not something that I would say yes. When I go to the United Nations, from the United, here was the itinerary first. The itinerary first was the president was going to go from the United Nations. He was going to go to what the planning, South Carolina.
Okay,
No, South Carolina. South Carolina. He was going to go to South Carolina, but because of the hurricane that was happening in South Carolina in the south, so to our surprise, we got a call. All right, we get a call that the president will be coming tomorrow to Rhode Island. So we ourselves was not, I mean, we anticipated he coming here, but we're not something that we plan and say, yes, the president going to come. But when he came, we'll try to make it available. So we have to plan something that already in the making, like Ghana, Mr. Jagri, it's something that been planned since 2022. But unfortunately, it did not happen. So we just decided and say, oh, you know what? Since he want to be here, let's collaborate with the Liberian community, with ULA, so Jagri, it will be done on a Jagri issue. And so he came here, I think last week, Sunday night or Monday, Sunday night. And we try to put the program together within that space of 72 hours. So that's what happened. And the other Liberians, I mean, we will always have some people who want to talk, but if anybody who come to you say, oh, they came to Rhode Island and they try to make it possible to see the president and they were turned down, I don't know to whom they talk to, but we'll try to be very accommodating for everybody that wanted to meet with the president one-on-one. And during the program, there was no answer in period because of the program that was here for Jagri. It was just an honoring program. And let me not just say it was just.
Thank you. Let me last question on this here. Last question on this here. How many of you apply for a job with the president, or how many people that said, Mr. President, can I get a job? And or how many people, two questions. First, how many of you asked the president for a job? And second, how many of you the president asked to come home for a job?
Well,
to work, not for job.
Let me speak to mine first. All right. Let me speak to mine first. I mean, for personally, I have told the president over and over at this point, I am not ready to come to Liberia to say I'm taking a position or a government position, but I will make my contribution as I'm doing right now. I mean, there are other people who are interested to be working in the government and say, okay, if you want something, there are a couple of names he gave out, also individual, and you can come to Liberia, then we'll take it from there. So personally, I'll send it to him.
Can you tell us those names tonight?
No, sir, I can't. And, you know, those I met with him that were interested in job position in Liberia, they already know the name. So that's what I said.
I see. Was Mr. Alfonso's name brought up?
Because he never came. I never came and said he wanted
that. Alfonso ain't got a job because he go there. Alfonso, hey, yeah, I told you, you're supposed to meet with our president. Yeah, you didn't meet with
if you wanted to meet with the president, you're going to be committed, you know. So
exactly.
To be honest with you, I push it. To be honest with you, don't be frank. I push that Mr. So to have one-on-one with the president for question. But it was majority rule, you know, I make my case. But, you know, I'm not the only planning committee member. It was not approved by the rest of the people, so that's how come. But he was carrying our program live, so I make a recommendation as chairman for Rhode Island, and it did not materialize. And I told him, you know, behind the scene, I said, this is what I have done. Asking if you can be honest. I said, this is what I have done.
Everything went well. I think he was okay. He was okay.
This is what I'm doing. I told him this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm pushing. I'm pushing hard. I want you to, because my belief was, even the diaspora watch it, but those at home to be able to see what the president have to say to the Liberian people here, and to have the interview. But I tried my best, but it did not work out. Hopefully, maybe next time, you know. And when he come here, when he come next time that he's going to be in Rhode Island, because it was not something that I actually planned for him to come here because he was going to come from what they blame Carolina and he was going to go to Liberia. But because of a certain reason, he came to Rhode Island. So because so he have to spend some time here with us. But it was
But
marvelous.
thank you, Jerry. We
Yeah,
appreciate.
in closing, we have issues as always. Where you find two or three people, there will be some people who will not be certified, and
But those people that are not certified as citizen, we don't care too much about the Jerry man. We here can't say who certified,
but
who not certified.
I mean, he's the president of Republic of Liberia. When it comes
For now, he's the president of Samson too. So what are they certified? He certified that one that they bought many. But anyway, no, I'm very serious now, Jerry. I think you guys did a wonderful job for the president to be able to do what he did with Gowney Armo Jack Reeves. That's something that I think you guys did a wonderful job. For those of you that planned this occasion, you did a wonderful job. Thank you for that. But let's go back. Let's go back into the president. Of course, he's back home now. What are you hearing so far?
Well, I think I put in the chat room what he said upon he arrived. That
Right.
was one of the best things that he have done. Usually when he come, he get his motorcade, he go home. But when he got to Ralphie, he took question, I think, for about hour. He make a presentation. He highlight what happened in Canada, what he did at the United Nations, what he did in Rhode Island, and also thank the Secret Service, and he saw the discipline, and also these are things that he observed. These are things he learned. The representation in Canada. Hopefully, we will soon have our embassy in Canada because we'll have about 30 according to his own statement. So hopefully, we will have embassy again to reopen the embassy with the Canada
When
Canadian
when
very
he
supportive.
when he I'm not too sure if you're privileged to hear the conversation between him and Armo Jagri, but there are still many Liberians here that are still in limbo in terms of paperwork and what have you. Was there any discussion in how best to harness Armory ability to help immigrant and to be able to help the Liberian immigrant that are still struggling in terms of getting papers and anything like that? Do you know of any conversation as such?
Yes, I can speak to that with no reservation. Jari. Up to this time, like Brett said, how the TPS started because it's like he said, Jari he said, we'll still push it or it will be expiring next year or June. So within that time again, we'll try to see to renew it. Those who don't have their green card at that time, when Donald Trump got one of those who push it for the Green Port had a green card, but he will still push it again. It will be expiring next year, June. And so to extend it again. So Jari hoping that we'll have a new government that will fall in their code or what her name, Kamala Harris win the election. So he are very concerned about it.
You even know the woman name. That's it. You represent President. We President Bagatina. You know the woman. We're not giving you no citizenship,
But
nothing.
well, I pronounce it. I say, the vice president, Kamala Harris, Kamala Harris.
Thank you.
So, but let me, if I could do this, Jagri, what the president did for him, it was marvelous. Jagri have been fighting for us since 1990, since the war started.
Right.
Okay,
89,
since the war
almost
started. Yeah, yeah,
1990, right.
yeah. So 1990 when the war started. And what he needs, he knew would come to my mind. He was one of the representatives at that time, you know, who fought. And when Jari came, he, carried the baton over. So Mr. Newsom, yeah, Mr. Newsom, he was the first. I mean, somebody just asked me just now, Mr. Newsom. Mr. Newsom was one
So,
of those.
one other question here in this, you are one of the insider, and we will do our best here tonight to pick your mind, to help us out understand. So, in some of your discussion, because I believe there were few of you that had the privilege to have type of conversation, and I bet the most likely conversation lasted for some time. How was there any discussion about Liberian diaspora participation in the future elections? And how, if it's
What?
okay,
No,
you care to tell us?
no, I will not lie. I mean, maybe my other group might be there because I will not wait him 24/7 because I was busy up and down. Sometimes I would
I see.
sit with him and sometimes. But we had a diaspora coordinator. What's his name? Erasmus Williams. He's a coordinator. He's
Where the man won again? Hey, my people, you come and spoil our conversation, Jerry.
But
You
that's
must
all
say
right. I don't
having,
even.
you must say having
Where's my picture first?
decent.
Please, where's my picture? He had my picture. And
He showed me the picture. He posted a picture there.
Tabata, you're on here today.
Mr. So please, not tonight. I don't want to mute you.
Mr. What's the name? Mr. Erasmus Williams. He's the chairperson for the diaspora. He's the direct. I can't even get a word. Diaspora coordinator but he based in in Minnesota. You know, so
I see.
he's the assistant minister at the foreign ministry.
Thank you. I think you have helped me out a lot here, though I was not there, but just by you trying to enlighten me on some of the things that you remember and some of the things that you can discuss, has done a wonderful, wonderful job here for this president again tonight. It's just to show that this president is unique, that this president is not a selfish person, that this president does care for Liberians and care for every one of us. I just hope that process continue. Before I go to the troublemaker here, who's here intent here tonight to ruin my show again. Before I go to him, Jerry, any other good thing coming from your side?
Say that again. What was your question?
Any other good thing coming? Where he coming? Yeah, Jerry, my people.
That all the life for people to just praise. That all your life.
The whole one. Just praise God. That's all.
The God you pray, the God you ask everything. What God asks you to do. You say, I give you everything on earth. The only thing He asks you to do, praise.
Okay, I won't talk.
No, wait. You will talk, Jared. Before the man who want to talk, before he talk. God, no, he coming to all kind of nyama here. Let me ask you, any other good thing from you about this president that you think we need to know and perhaps and didn't have an opportunity to express it? The floor is yours, sir.
I couldn't hear you. I want to understand. Say that again, please.
I said, can you hear me now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. Before I let Mr. So come in and try to pull saying our Gary, let me ask you this. Is there any other good thing about the president that you wanted to express and perhaps the opportunity has not been given? Do you care to say that? Any good thing about this president?
Well, the good thing was he was very open to us. He explained his agenda, what he want to do for the Liberian people. And those who came to meet with him, he met with them. There are people who came from different states flew to Rhode Island to meet with him. So he had a good conversation with the those that had to meet with him. So he did extremely well. He was open to every one of us. You know, so
Thank you.
I would say it was. I mean, like I said, not everybody will be happy. They'll be here. Are we have everything will happen?
No people that will not be happy that sedition. They don't bother me a bit. Thank you. I think the president, I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the president for visiting, and his stay in Rhode Island is a plus for all of us Liberians. And I want to take the opportunity to thank him for caring for us as Liberians. Now, let me go to the person who just joined, Mr. So. Good evening. What's on your mind?
What do you mean by the person who just
Mr. So, good evening. Mr. So, good evening. Thank
All
you.
right, Mr. CEO, how you doing? What's on your
No, but I beg you, what's CEO? Mr. So, good evening. What's on your mind?
Yeah, so for me, I'm a very honest person. I always speak the truth. You have to deal with it. But I would say a big kudos to Mr. Bacon in terms of the program and his push. He's 100% correct. You see, telephone they love you with.
Mr. So why your stuff breaking in and out?
No, not me. Jerry, I'm talking.
No, I'm all right. I'm good. I'm listening to you.
No, what I was saying, I said Mr. Bacon did an extraordinary job in terms of helping to facilitate the process. It was good. Full recognition was given before we got there. Credential, they had an info about it. I mean, both.
You're breaking in and out. We can't hear you now. Jerry, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
What kind of internet system?
I'm not home. I out on project. So if you can't speak, call me on the phone. You don't have to be on TV. Call me on the phone.
No, but I think I can hear you now. He back.
The disappointment is we anticipated, and everybody was.
You see that? That old Oakland phone CDC supply here. They're not working. They're out of power. Their phone not working.
Well, we are. If you can't get your studio,
nothing wrong.
No. I was on here yesterday. Everything is okay. If you can't get your studio,
nothing wrong.
Listen to me.
What
if
you
you can't get your studio, today is the what? The 7th. Before the 11th, you should get that studio in order. Other than that, you're not ready for prime time. I'm not going to be here and your screen giving crocodile or Christmas tree. No. That is unacceptable.
That the boat chairman talking like that?
We went through the normal process, everything okay. He actually pushed for us to have that one-on-one interview, if not even one-on-one, but to make an appearance. I had a brief conversation with the press secretary, but again, the protocol from Liberia has their own agenda. It is why it is, but I hope next time the organizing team here, because
they will come back to come look for money.
What?
They will come back to come look for money. When the next election, they will come back and no people.
And you will be on this network. You will be seeking to give. So please give us. We who have a sort of open mind to discuss the thing with courage and conviction. You wait. So I mean that was the only thing. But other than that. At least I told you what, even come downstairs to give a handshake. I'm not sure why and I raised the concern here. And you were one of the person who they don't know, you don't know them, and you felt everything was okay. But Mr. Bacon did push it because I talked to other folks in the cycle with a friend movement or friend of mine. I don't know what was their fear or what were their apprehensions. It's being so protective. I don't think they should have done that way. In fact, there's a clip. If you watch that live interview, there were some young people there. And from what I listened to them, more or less they are involved in small businesses. And they frown on, how people are pushing around. You go to National Archive, business section, what people do. So those are some of the things they wanted to, bring to the attention of the president. So I see that as a big missed opportunity.
Thank you. I don't know what's going on with your system.
To get this organized. Why this guy internet is behaving like this?
Thank you. Then only you alone. How come Jerry and myself were good? Then you not good. That the people you're not in power again. That Oakland thing they give you no more power. That's why you're getting problem. They're talking about say they will come back. Come by where? Come by where? In Liberia? President Baka got his thing nailed down already. 2029, he will be re-elected. Who come back? Come back. You better come go. You get back. Say, come front.
You're supposed to be worrying about your own party.
Come front. You heard what Victor said last night? I am original member of Liberty Party.
Why are you running away from your own shadow?
What do you mean running from my own shadow? You heard what Vitas told you last night? Original member of Loyalty. I was at the Las Vegas meeting he talking about. I was there. The meeting with Bronski, I was there. I've been explaining everything here to you. So I'm one of the original members of Liberty Party. I send you my registration form. Did I not? I sent it to you. You got it on file. But that's besides the point. That's besides the point, Mr. So. Let me go back to Jerry on a very serious note. Jerry, do you think with all this, the hoorah what been happening while the president here visiting and trying to gather support for Liberia and Liberians all over the world, and these young people over there behaving the way they were behaving? Do you think they're putting Liberia on a good footing at all from your own perspective? And I'm not saying what the president thinks or something, but from your own perspective, their behavior over there, was it something that will help in trying to give the narrative of Liberia to foreigners?
When you say behavior where abroad or in Liberia?
The Liberia, those young people in Liberia, they're fighting about themselves with money here, Adimoda, Public Works Ministry, Deputy and Minister, all that kind of stuff.
Well, the president is aware of this situation that's going on, and the only
no, but I'm talking about yourself.
Myself here, personally, no. I mean, I say on the network so many times. When the president appoints you, it's not about you anymore. It's about how you implement the agenda of the president or how you implement the agenda of the Republic of Liberia. So you become a public servant, and your character is also in the public, how you behave in the office, how you behave personally. When the president succeeds, you benefit from it. When the president fails, you don't benefit from it, because if the president succeeds, this is how I look at it. If the president succeeds, you will get credit. Your Minister of Public Works is on your administration, were able to build a road like Mr. Smith said last night. I asked him the question, how many miles the road is built and stuff. So there are things that you can benefit from, but we have to put our ego on the side to be able to work with people. Now, one of the problems we have, we are not willing or to work with people. That, look, I'm the minister. Okay, fine. Not because I'm minister, so I have answer to everything. No, you have your areas of expertise. Okay? And I need to work with you as my subordinate. I need to listen to you. And you cannot just be cocky as a minister, or because I do not have an experience in that area, instead of you to come and help me and say, okay, I will push your agenda in the ministry. We all get credit when the ministry go good. We all get credit. But I think from our perspective, that's one of the problems we have. We are selfish. Let me put it this way. We are selfish. We're not willing to work with anybody. Me, that's it. Because you're director now, so you don't want to listen to your subordinate, or you don't willing to have meeting with your deputy because you think you are a director or you are a minister. That's selfishness. We need to call it that selfishness all in our country. That's the problem that we are facing. We are very selfish, self-centered. We are very self-centered. That's the problem we are facing. It's not about the president. The president appoints you. You as a ministry, you have to work with people. You got about maybe 100 or 200 people that honor you.
Right. Yeah. Mr. So, besides trying, and let me undercut your argument right away, because I know exactly what it's going to be. Besides trying to tie this thing around the president's neck, which I will push strongly back on, what do you think? What was the motives behind these young people behaving like that? Do they just don't care for the public perception on their behavior, or they just don't care because they've been appointed, they can do just whatever they want to do?
Who are you referring to as young people?
The Public Works saga and Adimoda saga.
Those people, they are adults. They're not young. They are adults.
I'm older than all of them. So they're for me, they're young.
We're not having an age exhibition or competition here.
Mr. So it
Those
was a
people,
question
yeah,
high school.
you guys can always help to make these people to do what they are doing. Young people now, so you try to make them that they are kids and they do not know what they are doing. Don't even go there. And I'm not going to go there. That's why you try to kind of like smoothing this ride here. But I'm not going to be on board with that sort of rocket car without no any brakes and stuff like that. And this is going to be, and let me just say that I was talking to one of those folks, and Mr. Bacon mentioned something too. I want to come back to it with Erasmus William, who is the in the office of the president for diaspora affairs. That's a very, very, very much important and key position there. That's not a position for he to hold far with in Minnesota. That's not the purpose of that. And I told him that. But this is the test for the president. Test not necessarily to dismiss, not necessarily to I mean, it's a test. Let me just put it out with no way of doing it. People should be held accountable. He came, this was something that he said in his own words. And people take people to, I remember in a while, it is something, I think between 85, 86, Samuel Doe and Guy Jones went that same route. Ivan Jones, then Minister of Finance at the time, he thought he was untouchable. Remember when they sent those 17 experts as the Minister of Finance, and when they did all kinds of things, and people were shocked. Doe took a decision, even though he was not dismissed, but he was removed immediately from that Ministry of Finance and brought him closer. Well, those are baby steps. Now, people are going to be watching out because the Army Muda, what the other person, the Tama, the Gideons, and all of those things, there are a lot of conversations around them, to whether they are related to the president, they are not related, all of that's going to factor in. So the president, it is unacceptable, and we had a lengthy conversation with Minister Smith yesterday. It's not in the interest of the government, neither the president. The president brought these people on board with the hope to help him to get his agenda pushed. If anybody who is an adult and comes on board and you want to behave like a toddler and you think you're still taking bottle in, sucking baby bottle, then it's better to go there. So this is a test. If it's going to be one of these investigations, endless investigation without no result, this is how the DEA went down. And that also hampers the agenda of the president, because that's something he meant to fight against. And you had two adults there who are professional, who's supposed to be professional in doing their thing. See what has happened. It's the same thing going on with the Ministry of Public Works. Public Works is a very, very key area there. His agenda, rules, and all of these things is in the hands of the Ministry of Public Works. And it is not good for you to have the main boss and his principal deputy cannot get along. That itself, it undermines the work of national government. So people are going to watch, and he said, well, I heard Jerry saying we should stay tuned. Well, I'm not going to, don't put me in some sort of oven there and think I'm going to beg for something, stay tuned. So that stay tuned, there's not time for stay tuned. We need action. We must jump on that investigation. I'm not saying you should rush it, but I'm quite sure he was briefed while he was outside of the country, and whoever that are involved in the investigation, people should be held accountable. And I like some of the words that he used, and people think that, they were the only person, or without them he can't work or they can't do certain things. People need to be fired, and not just only fired. If you did wrong and you are fired, if you are guilty, you should go beyond bars. That's the only way people will come to their senses. So they are not young people. These people, they are all grown adults, and they give them responsibility to do, and they must be able to perform.
Thank you, Mr. So Jerry, let's have this conversation now. If you are in this position here, give us a little bit of a solution, not necessarily firing solution. That's not what I'm looking for. That's the right wing takeaway. Those people, they don't bother me a bit. But give me solution where the folks that are also ministers and are watching this thing very keenly, what type of solution you think that can be implemented in this case that will also warn the rest of the cows behind this president?
But here's the thing, Mr. Toh. The purpose of police wearing uniform is not just to arrest, but it's a deterrent. We wear badges to be able to identify when you go somewhere who you are. I mean, you work with the San Francisco Public Works Department. You have to wear that tag so you will be identified who you are. There are some times you have to make some decision. It will not be popular, but you have to do it. It's a deterrent. Even your children in the home. You say today is Monday, from Monday to Friday, no TV, or you watch TV until 8 o'clock or 7 o'clock or by 6 o'clock. Everybody's got to do their homework. Friday, you can watch TV. So the president had to make some decision. That's in the best interest of his government as well as the state, the country. And like he said, we are there not to enriching ourselves, but we have a responsibility and obligation to serve the Liberian people. If the words are met, he had to take some necessary action. Don't be afraid. Let's go back into our administration. Tower fires a minister after 7 to 8 months. I'm not saying he should do it. And they asked the president, he brought some of them back. He said, what happened? He said they have been rehabilitated. So anybody can be rehabilitated, but you have to show that you are in control as a leader. That's one thing you have to do. As a leader, you have to make sure that you are in control. And this thing is not something that we have to sweep it on the raw, especially some of the things that happen in the Ministry of Public Works, the deputy minister and the minister are 40. It's about reflection on the government. Let's be realistic here. It's not something for all to sweep under the rug. They have to take some. They got to take some, drastic decision.
I'm happy to hear that,
Mr. So. This is the liberal show where we allow people to express
have to take some.
please.
No, seriously, he have to make some drastic decision and say, you know what? He can call both of them and say, look, I want to hear your side of the story. Instead of investigation or people arresting me, call them, bring both of them to the table and say, listen, Mr. A, Mr. B, what's going on in your ministry? Other than can explain, and he can make a decision. We are there to serve the country. We're not there to enrich ourselves to serve and say, some arrogancy. No, the president have to make some decision. Seriously, he have to.
What kind of decision?
And it was some of them were highly recommended.
What kind of decision? What was your decision?
No. Jerry's not going to give that kind of recommendation, Mr. So let me move on. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. Jerry is not here to give that kind of answer, the recommendation that will satisfy you. No, we're not going to speculate. The president will make a decision, whatever decision.
Not today, you want to speculate? This guy, man.
No, but Mr. Toh and Mr. So, with all sincerity or our listening, there are some time we have to do it. And the president appointed you as a minister.
So, okay, Jerry, in the interest of our listener, don't mind this guy because you're not going to get anything good here. I praise you here tonight. You got to walk that fine line. Hopefully, for that, where you did. So
Mr. So, I am running a show. Don't ask your question here.
Be gentle. Hold your peace. So, I did hear you saying there was a meeting with the president. Who specifically was that? The inner cycle, the Friends of Waka, and what were those concerns that were expressed?
Maybe give me late. I mean, it was across the spectrum. It was not only limited to Waka movement alone. We have representatives from different states that were there. There's a meeting. We met with him, and there are other organizations that came and met with him.
Why we were left out of the outside? Why you had a meeting?
Well, we had a meeting in the president's suite, in the president place. That was those. Okay. If you wanted to be part of it, I mean,
Are you kidding me? If I wanted to?
Oh, of course. wait a minute. People are going to go outside and say, "Oh, we're going to grab people from the industry. Can't go meet the president." If you wanted to meet the president, you know where he was. You could have contacted me. You could have contacted somebody. I want to meet with the president. Besides, don't forget about the press aspect of it. As the president of this, to elect the way you are conducting the show tonight. Okay, fine, that's great. But anyway,
these are the kind of things that get his attention. You see, Clarence David, they're the one get this.
Yes, you know, but yes, the point, Mr. So. You know, I know. You know, the Boakai movement or the chairperson. I'm the chairperson. Mr. Norrie is the chairperson of the New England State. Mr. Sir Johnny, you know the people. So if at all, you wanted to meet with the president, you could have contacted any one of us.
Wow.
We're not going to give you invitation and say, "Can't go meet with the president." No, you want to meet with the president? It's fine. We're going to make it available. Let me be realistic. No. You didn't do this.
Politics are bad.
No. Don't do this.
Let me come back to you, Jerry. Jerry, he's here to spoil our show. Don't listen to him. Let me come back to you.
But Mr. Toh, let's be this way. If the president in your town, and you the chairperson, you hosting, he know me very well. He know our intersect. So if you wanted to meet with the president, at least he could have come to me and say, "Jerry, I want to meet with the president."
I tell you, he said, I don't want to have a secret meeting. The only conversation I wanted to have a national conversation, which
the America that I play, you can do national business now. You want to do national business, go to Liberia. And you have a national conversation. You can't come to America and can't have national. The foreign conversation you want to have, and the president is not about ready to have a foreign conversation, Mr. So let me go back to Jerry. I mean, well, you can't talk about you want to have a national conversation in America, foreign land. That's why you want to have Liberia national. Go to Liberia and have a national conversation. Let me go back to you, Jerry. The 2 or 3 minutes we have left before we call it quit tonight because I'm out of town. I am pretty much as clear and correct as stated.
Mr. Bachman, you agree with what he said?
Mr. So, the Liberal is running a show as correctly correctly stated. I am conducting a show tonight. Let me come back to you, Jerry, on a very serious note. Jerry, what would be your perspective? Serious one now. What would be your perspective on this 9 months in office? If you're going to, I'm not saying grade. I don't do grading business. Because President Baka is a PhD. He don't need to be graded. He does everything good. But in terms of, working relationship among ministers and even their working relationship with the president, since we consider you now one of the insider, how will you rate those things tonight for us?
Well, here's the thing. Personally, yes. On politics, is that there's a missing step? Of course, we got to acknowledge it. If you have problems, you got to acknowledge it. There's a missing steps from the beginning, but these are issues that will be corrected. Those who are successful today, they are not just get up today and say, "Yeah, today I started my business and it went this way." No. Let's use this as a case study. You made mistakes. There are people who are appointed to the position, they have made some mistake. Take, for example, when it came to the how do you call it, in the car possession, how do you call it? The word I'm looking for.
Anyone else?
No, the car, when repossessing car or do something.
Or repo.
Oh, repo, okay. So, that was a mistake, yes. I went to the court had adjudicated and said, you know what, yes, it's a decision. But Mr. Buckeye had made some effort in his going to 10 months now, almost 10 months. There are some positive things. Today, Liberia is getting back on her feet, recognized internationally, and economically it's coming a little bit. The respect that was not given to Liberia is now getting her respect around the world. So these are positive things. The other thing, there are little things that we have to concern about. Of course, we don't say there's no mistake. I'll be lying. I'll be delusional if I say there's no mistake or there's no misstep. But these are issues that we'll have to fight and say, here's the issue. Let me give you a typical example. The president said he tried to open Canada, but also had Canadian embassy back in Liberia. That's a positive thing. Canada had been there during the Civil War. Canada was one of the first before during the Ebola. Canada was the first. So these are people, these are our old allies. So these are things the president is working on very hard. Make sure that Liberia is one of the things he emphasized, during the time we talked to him. He talked about education, especially when it comes to Ministry of Public Works. He said, public work, I'm not saying the other.
The president.
Hold on, sir. Public work.
Mr. So, hold on.
Public work is one of the playing a major role because we need road connection. If we have road connection, we'll get good education system, we'll get good water system. So these things that's something that are on his agenda. So the president is aware of the situation as well. So, folks, I say, this administration, it has some misstep, of course. We acknowledge it. And that's something that we say, yeah, we are A+.
That's the difference between us and them. For us, if we know something is not right, we speak the truth. For them, if they know something is not right, they lie still. So that's the difference. We are genuine, and we know the president is genuine, and the president continue to do the work of the people. There's no two-way street about that. So we're not even going to jump here and there. Mr. So, let me come back to you before we close this show tonight. Let me come back to you.
Why don't want me to ask Mr. Back-on question?
Because they're not you who running the show. How you ask your guest on my show, then you want to ask my co-host. Yeah, you guess. Then you want to ask my co-host question.
Your co-host?
How you
co-host?
How you account your guest on my show and ask my co-host question? So let me ask you this, Mr. Guest. Let me ask you this on a very serious note, Mr. So. Same question to Jerry. And the reason I'm asking you here, not only because you don't hold back, you say exactly how things are according to you, which we all respect and appreciate. But I want you to look at these 9 months, and if you can speak to some of the rocky roads that have happened, some of the turbulence that have taken place under the leadership, and some of the stable flight, no shaking, no plane shaking, everything more going good. From your perspective, what are some of those things you can give us here tonight, please, sir?
I don't know whether you're going to like it, but well, by and large, there's a peace in the country. Everywhere, there will always be a little obstacle here and there. But I think I am a little disappointed in the sense of his experience, his longevity in government. He once was within the proximity of the presidency. He said he was PAC. I do not know the actual connotations when he said he was PAC, whether he was not involved in the decision making. He travels extensively, proxy the affairs of the government. When Helen Johnson Sirleaf was president, traveled to over 60 countries worldwide, which gives an edge of meeting international folks. So I thought coming in, it would have been like that of George Weah to tell people to stay on because they were not prepared. I am not saying he told people to stay on, but decision making, he seems to lose control over the wheel, the stereo. People are taking him for granted, probably for whatever reason, to yet to know, or whether some political favor was done during the campaigns and these people are being rewarded. I'm not sure. I've never had an opportunity, and those were the things I really wanted to have a conversation. From the onset of the inaugural, we saw massive misappropriations of funds from the chairperson, party chairperson, and at the end of the day, these people were politically rewarded. It is troubling. it gives a signal of who then will be held accountable if one does wrong, if any of these people. But I think it's a challenge. I don't know. I hope, like you said, we should stay tuned. I don't want to stay tuned because I don't know how long we're going to stay tuned. I don't want to be the one of those that's still soon, nothing is soon on day one. As long as you raise that hand and you were inducted into office, you have been charged. You have the gavel, you have the constitutional authority to make decisions for us that will affect, that will harm, that will improve the lives of the Liberian people. So those are in the tendency, oh, it's still soon, it's still soon. No, it's not still soon. If people did it wrongly in the early, we are not saying that should be the recap of it. I just feel because I want him to succeed. I'm not like you who would just sit here, everything is peanut butter and jelly. No, I want this president to show to people that he have hired, he has the authority to hire and to fire. Because our people, they get the tendency, they are putting him to test. And this is about his legacy. If you don't know that, the labor, this is about his legacy, his agenda, his core for which he came to authority, he came to power, that must be maintained. He should not allow anyone, be a family member who was qualified, competent in the government, should not allow that. George Weah and the CDC, we saw that. People felt they brought George Weah to power. People felt they were in the trenches for the CDC. So for whatever reasons, and George Weah, in his kindness, politically rewarded his people, which of course, if I were in his shoe too, I would have done the same thing. But guess what? People abuse it, and it just taught. That's why you see any little chicken get up and they say they were defending, they were protecting George Weah. We do not want to see these things happening. Even if Dr. Boyka doesn't seek re-election, which most likely could be the case, but he could be.
Don't even predict that.
Okay, I'm saying, I'm speaking my mind. I'm not talking for you, so please just give me a chance. But he could still be a deal breaker, and part of that is based on what he will do today. He can easily raise somebody's hand, but if he doesn't, that would not just only him, it would endanger his own party.
Thank you. Look at NISA and prediction. That's not something that I was hoping to hear from you. But anyhow, once a far right, it's always a far right. So we understand your position. Thank you very much. But let me say this here.
So let me end quickly here, Mr. Chairman of the board. You know, those are the kind of titles when I call you, then you feel good. You see that? You see that effect. Look, seriously, and I want to, Jared, because of what Jared, beyond other things, even though he gave on a Tabata thing, but there's a good side of him. But what I want to say, because you are within the inner cycle, the position of Erasmus, and I told him in his face, you know, they have to do everything to reach out to people, even people that never agree with them. The bottom line here is it's already in your court. So you have to do everything. That position is very key. It's not a position that you should just occupy. He only sit in Minnesota when the president comes, then he go all around the world with the president. No, that's not what it's for. He needs to reach out to all Liberians throughout the length and breadth of the United States here and see if possible to establish local to volunteer coordinators who will, because his office there is to help to share information with us with the activities of the president. When the president is coming, you know, where Liberians are, hopefully they will want to meet with the president. We have this conversation. They're not just to put a face up there and think he want to be a president or Samson too and all of that. No, that's not his job. And I told him it. Because that's how they cry, they whine on other people when they give their authority to, then they zip their mouth. I think that is unfair. And I mean, I hope Mr. Bacon, you guys will reach out to him. There are a lot of Liberians here. The election is over. I don't think President Boyka worrying about any re-election, but he was called into that office to enhance the message of the national government. So that's what he should be doing. not just only wait when the president comes, then he show, and that's the only time people see him. No. When like he ever had a conference or meeting, when he ever went on any network, not necessarily LPR, to tell his responsibility, to tell us as diaspora Liberian, his responsibility, his duties, his job description. You know?
Thank you. Thank you. Jerry, thank you very much, guys. I will come to you, Jerry, for your closing. But I just want to point something out here very quickly. We know the president is in Liberia now, and we know the president have pay keen attention to what has transpired in public work. Public Work Ministry today had an important meeting with the Chinese government sponsor team to do an assessment and show some. They were showing some video, and just from the pictures, it seemed to me that the minister and his deputy perhaps put the past, whatever it is, put the past behind them, and I think they're moving forward to working together. And I hope that is the true sense of professionalism that they exhibited today at the Ministry of Public Works. I hope that will continue. The sad thing that I have is that just by looking at that picture, I'm not too sure if Minister Gaydon is really on board with the professionalism that is required for both of them to work together. So I hope the president not necessarily fire anybody, but would demand that nobody's going anywhere. Both of you going to stay there and you will give me quality work. That's what I want from you. Complain or no complaint, sit there. I'm not firing anybody. Sit right where you are and you fix it and work together. The mess you give me for the rainy season, I want that not to be repeated anymore. And let the president demand professionalism from both of them. And I think when you do that, and the other folks see those kinds of stuff, they would then start taking heed. Now, on the other hand, if there is any, this is my opinion, folks, and I'm entitled to it. If there is any issue involve money changing hand for contract processing when the investigation showed that's a different thing. But for exchanging word between deputy and the minister, and as a father of the nation, I believe he should completely take that route, demand that these people work together. Jerry, let me come to you then, Mr. So can take us home. But what will be your closing tonight, sir?
Well, I mean, I just say thanks to all Liberians and in the diaspora, those that came to visit us during the visitation of the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency. Thanks be to LPR for carrying the program live. I mean, I have gotten some positive results from Liberia and also within in the diaspora. But the only thing we can do here is, like, if we can work together, we can move Liberia forward. The only thing, we have selfishness and we are so egotistic, and these are some of the things that are affecting our country today.
Thank you. So, I think you mean well, because this is about the second time pointing and using those two words tonight, and I think you're very serious about that, because those are not words you throw around usually all around like that. I think this is something that really
because you can see something. We all point our chest. I'm this, I'm that. No. It's about Liberia. If we can get Liberia straightened up, look, we can do it. We have professionals.
How can we do that? How can we get Liberia straightened up?
Say that again.
How can we get Liberia straightened up?
When you get a show on Wednesday,
I just said
when you get a show, Jerry, hold on 1 minute, Jerry. When you get a show Wednesday, you can ask that your question.
Go ahead, Mr. Sincerity for our country is our country. We will build it. We can build it.
Fatima, thank you for joining us, my sister. Thank you very much. I missed the show yesterday, but you guys heard what Victor was saying about me. I'm a founding member of Liberty Party. I'm also
what do you do with that?
Mr. So, I'm just giving some.
Give me a resume.
Why are you getting agitated? Why are you getting agitated? Why are you getting agitated? I'm talking. You don't have no
We're not
party.
talking anything about
I'm not like
Liberty
you.
Party
You don't
here.
have no party. You don't have no party.
I don't even want to have a party. These are social causes. You call them party.
Whatever. What will be your closing, Mr. So? What will be your closing? And Fatima, so you heard what Victor said last night about me, a funny member of Liberty Party, duly registered. Mr. So have my registration, copy of my registration with him. He refused to display the registration for the entire world to see that I was duly registered.
Let me play the registration.
No. Let's move on. What's your closing? What's your closing?
Let me play your registration. You're telling me, let me play your registration.
No. What's your closing?
On a serious note, I hope. I think the president now. He was never in that position before. He was just closer to it, and so he didn't know all, and we don't expect everything. But we anticipated, we were of a view that things will kind of like. But I think he getting to understand. Our people are bring people too. When you're dealing with them, you got to keep your eyes open at all times. So I hope seeing all what is happening, and I'm quite sure because he's a wise man. I think he's been observing, give people the opportunity to see whether they will kind of like readjust themselves. But I think he has realized from that interview and hearing what I'm hearing from Mr. Bacon, that he has absorbed a lot. And you know what? They're going to see the ugly side of the old man very soon. And I think that's what needs to happen. So they're calling people, they're not town hall, they're not village to call people on the palm one tree. You're running a national government. When people are unable to get certain things done, they need to get out of the way of the country and find everywhere to go.
Thank you.
But why are you rushing me?
Mr. So, I'm out of my time. Thank you very much. I have a time set for the show.
Oh, go by the time Fatu start writing, you just all of a sudden you change.
No, Fatu been writing. She been saying good thing about me. She don't say bad thing about me. So when I talk about my Esther she still think I'm drinking juice, but I don't drink juice anymore.
Liberty Party man. Hopefully, you can start going back to your party so you can.
But let me before you guys leave, let me say this here. On I believe Thursday, we were on here showing all of the bad roads and some of the stuff here. We did it here for about an hour or so. Located for me, the project that I'm on here, which is just down the street here. We have a bike path that is connected to the bridge, northbound and southbound bridge. So they have a bike path that is connected. So people are going to pedestrian and bike will be using that route. So the bike, as they leave the highway, we're putting it on a new bike path that they're fixing. Located for me, when I came this afternoon, went to the job site, the bike path that they're fixing, no different from Liberia Road. No different from the bad roads in Liberia. They're fixing a bike path on a marsh swamp. And what they have done, I will show that tomorrow. And those are things that we were expecting.
On his show, you will allow you? On his show, you will allow you?
No, he ain't got show tomorrow, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. No, I just want to make sure.
No, he got nothing. He got nothing.
Before he can intrude.
No, he will not. Tomorrow, I'm not even going to with this software that I was. You saw in the other Tuesday, the Thursday when I was going for 1 hour. You saw him able to enter that software when I on it. He can't enter. And on the other software where he ready anytime he enter and get out, I leave it. The last time we had a show, he entered, he got vexed. I'm leaving. I gotta leave. Blue, he left.
I just felt you were wasting people's time, and I needed to watch something important.
Who made that determination? That's your determination.
You see that?
I don't know why when he's
Thank you, Jerry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clear.
Thank you, guys.
I think the co-host really working hard to know.
No,
you remind the moderator that I'm at town tomorrow. Wow. Two of that coming with another headache again tomorrow. Jesus Christ.
My Esther, get yourself some Tylenol. We're coming tomorrow. Tomorrow will not be easy.
Get your popcorn. Get your popcorn ready. You know,
Yep.
we'll come up with, we'll get your popcorn ready. It's starting tomorrow. So get ready. All right, folks. Let me do my closing here, Mr. So he did extremely well. During the duration of the program, he did extremely well. You were very professional. I saw something. I thought, you know, there would be something, but he was very professional. So I just want to tell him the public matter. I saw it, even though I was standing up, I saw what was going on. And leave it, man. Yeah, and you want to talk here? Yeah?
No, you're talking behind closed door. You're talking behind closed door.
But you know what I'm talking about. But no, to be honest with you, he was very mature. And myself,
but Jerry, I don't mean to interrupt. You know what happened? The bull gave him a strong warning.
Okay.
You're going over there. You're going over there.
This is the president.
This is the president. Yeah, exactly. The bull gave him a strong warning. And I'm glad he understood the warning.
No, he did. He did. No, he did extremely well. I saw, you know, myself, I felt somehow, but where I was standing towards strategically, I couldn't come down, you know, and something like that. But he did well.
Yeah, so when the president, they put you in strategic position. Wow, Jerry.
Is he trouble?
He had one federal agent on a.
Oh wow, Jerry, you're not easy.
I tried to do my method. He can't even look the play. Looking at it. Only play looking.
He's not even smart. He was not smiling with nobody.
Well,
okay.
They all were cool. But you know, with serious note, thank you, Mr. So let me just acknowledge you. You did extremely well. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you did. You did.
No, you did extremely well. Myself. You know,
the only problem was where the building you guys have picked, that building internet issue.
It's a very big kind of CU hall because that's a 5G system we have. And I was surprised to see it. It doesn't easily happen like that. But I think the location and how that building, you know, is the career. I think they've kind of built it to protect the kids and other things. And you know.
Yeah, it's a good auditorium. It's a good auditorium.
Very nice place, but I think
okay. All right, Jerry, you and Mr. Soul, you're good friend. We know that. Your friendship behind after my show. Good night.
All right, thank you. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
All right, Jerry, thank you.
See you tomorrow, God willing.
All right, thank you. Mr. Soul, good night to you as well, if you don't mind. Again, folks, Samson told La Bro Pabrito. Wonderful show tonight. As you can see here, I'm not actually broadcasting from home. I'm on the road, but we have to do these things here. After we finish doing our hard work all day, work hard, then we'll kind of run our mouth again, working hard. But I want to thank all of you again tonight for this wonderful show. Tomorrow I will videotape what I will consider some of the fixes, and I will explain to you. In fact, I will do my best. Some of the operator, they are not part of my project, but once I put on my gown and they know that I'm working for this project, they will want to talk to me. And if I have the opportunity to interview them, what was the process involved, so they can explain it, and you can But if not, I will do the explanation. But thank you very much, Man Fatima. Thank you. Great show. Thank you, man, lady. Thank you very much. Folks, Samson told La Bro Pabrito, I will say good night to all of you. It's been a wonderful show. Good night, folks.